All right, I welcome you to another video on the Teacher Tuber YouTube channel. In today's video, this is a new series where I'm experimenting with something new. Recently, I've been watching a lot of video ads, whether it's on YouTube or on a streaming platform or on the television when I watch TV in the evenings. And I realized that I'm watching the same ad multiple times in the day or in the week. And while I'm watching the ad, sometimes I just have to watch it because I cannot skip it. Um, I have certain thoughts about these ads. And what are these thoughts about? They're mostly about the story that the ad is trying to tell me, the service that is trying to be sold to me, and the strategy that is adopted by the ad filmmakers of the company in terms of sound, video, to communicate what they're trying to communicate. So I thought I should start like a series where I document some of these thoughts. Again, I just enjoy watching media, whether it's films, songs, and more recently, I think ads, because I think ads are also doing something interesting when they try to capture or connect a product to certain emotions. So let's just get started. Today's ad is from the Nescafe India page. So there's an ad that I recently saw that I thought was quite interesting. It's this particular ad, and I'm not going to say anything about it. Let's just watch it and then we can have a little chat about it at the end.
टाइम कहाँ निकल जाता है। ऑफिस, प्रेजेंटेशंस, कॉल्स हमारे 8 घंटे 40 मिनट ले लेते हैं। एम्बिशन के रास्ते पे रोज 1 घंटे का ट्रैफिक मिलता है। दूसरों की जिंदगी को स्क्रॉल करते करते 2 घंटे 20 मिनट तो यूं ही निकल जाते हैं। रह जाते हैं बस 60 मिनट उन चीजों के लिए जो मैटर करती हैं। Nescafe Gold, carefully selected coffee beans, roasted to perfection for a rich aroma and a smooth taste. Time, jab mile, jitna mile, make the most of it. Nescafe, make your world.
All right, so there's a lot I want to talk about. Okay, firstly, I do use Nescafe, so I'm a consumer of the product or their service. So let's start off with story. Okay, so now what story is this product trying to tell us? So when we start off, we see this particular girl. I think she looks like she's in her early 20s, quite ambitious. And you notice that around her, there is sort of this setting. It seems like she's in the real world. And I think Nescafe did a really good job because in telling her story, it sort of tells you what the world is like today, where we work remote, but we bring the outside world into our houses. So, in a lot of ways, you see that happening here. You see traffic, you see meetings, you see the traffic policeman, you see construction. So it's like when we work remote, you have all of these things happening, simultaneously inside your house. Then there's a small transition where we go into this particular scene. Let me see here. I want to capture that here. Now, once we're done with work, so I think Nescafe also does a good job because they show sort of like a character arc. So this young professional is done with work, and then this young professional goes home, but now again her time is consumed by watching videos of her friends or colleagues doing other hustles, and I think that captures and ties into this idea of young India trying to hustle and create other side projects that can give them an income. And I think sometimes that builds a lot of insecurity in the young Indian's mind. So they get so consumed in watching other people's lives and trying to think about what they're missing out on that sometimes they forget living out or living in their own life. And that's when you go to act three, in a way, of this ad is actually this particular scene where she looks up from her phone, literally the phone in front of her. She looks up, and that's when she notices that there is someone human and live and real sitting in front of her. Now, who is this person? So, this person is her dad. And you can see a photo at the back. You can see him like starting a new hobby. And that's when you realize that the ad has made like a strong human emotional connection with the viewer, because all of us in some form or the other have a relationship with a guardian or a parent. And I think the ad was able to tap into that relationship with this particular scene. So as we move ahead, you see the dad also looking back, and then the dad smiles. And that's the beautiful part of this ad where that connection really happens. Um, she smiles back. And then I think at this moment, she has a thought that, her career is important, these side hustles are important. But I think what is most important is the time she has with her father. So she keeps her phone down, and slowly everything around her starts disappearing. Okay, that is really intriguing to see. And she's now left in her own thoughts, and it's just the two of them in the room. And then she tries to find something that will connect the two of them, and she looks to the right and she sees this Nescafe uh, bottle, and she takes out the product, she smells it, and then she makes some coffee. So I think it's just a very strong human story that Nescafe is able to tell, because of showing this relationship between the father and the daughter. In terms of the product, I think, especially in the second part of the ad, you have like clear product placement, you have an experience through like scent, then you have a visual experience of connecting the user to like these coffee beans and where it comes from. Then they sort of create this aura of like warmth, like a hot drink in a Nescafe cup. And then you have milk pouring into hot coffee, which is just such a warm feeling overall. And then I think this part, in terms of the service, was very effective. I think it's a scene where you have the milk sort of mixing with the black coffee. And I think that was a very good sort of visual understanding of coffee. And finally, I think, the cup of coffee. But this scene in particular is really interesting to me, because over here, what you notice is that you have two cups of coffee, but one is black and one is like with milk. So it shows you that you can customize this product to your taste. So it's your Nescafe, it's not our Nescafe. And it goes back to the title or the theme up there that says "Make Your World." So as we get to the end of the ad, they come together, they sit down, and they have like a light-hearted moment, and they have coffee together, right? And then at the end, it's just the coffee and the product placement placed side by side. So I think in terms of strategy, I think the let me talk about three things I noticed at the start. There's like this very quick sound, and you notice the sound getting slower and slower, trying to show you the character arc of how this girl is moving from just being so absorbed in her work and her other hustles to being more present with her father. And the video quality is just good, but I think the way the scenes are shot, like how the people disappear, how they appear, how the sounds are added to those visuals, is quite effective. And then the setting, all the colors are warm. There are these plants. Um, it just seems like a very warm, homely environment. So I think that was done really well. So I think it's a great ad overall, and I really, really enjoyed watching it. And whenever I watch it, it makes me think about my connection to my loved ones in a lot of ways. So yeah, I did link the Nescafe ad in the show notes, and I hope you are able to grab your next cup of coffee and enjoy that soon. Thanks for watching this. This is the Teacher Tuber signing off.